everything that we're living today makes us more and more aware of how we really are not in control of anything. We're not in control of when the borders will open, when we'll be able to travel, when we'll be able to return to some sort of normal life in our daily routines. And we also can't control how other people react and their attitudes, and especially how they behave, with all the restrictions that we're going through. We've always had to learn to accept others that we share life with, that we live with, and accept them as they are. But it's hard, especially in moments like this. The parish priest here was telling us how he had to make a trip in the car yesterday, and he was expecting quiet, peaceful drive, tranquil streets. But on the contrary, he found lots of people trying to speed because the streets were so empty. People were just going at their own speed and very impatient and even aggressive with him. So we can't control how others react, and it's a constant struggle. It's a constant struggle, and as I've been sharing about the garden these days, it's a struggle. It's something very real in the garden. You sow good seed, and you start to see all these little seedlings coming out, and all of a sudden you're like, well, it can't all be the seed that I put in there, and you realize there's a lot of mixture. There's also weeds, and I think it's sometimes really hard to distinguish, and it reminds me of the parable of the weeds and the wheat that Jesus spoke about. In Matthew 13, verses 24 to 30, it says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while everyone was sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat and went away. When the wheat sprouted and formed heads, then the weeds also appeared." And the tendency there is, let's pull out the weeds. Let's get rid of what's not good. Let's just, and our tendency is to want to judge ourselves for the things that we don't like about ourselves, to judge others around us, and to judge everyone in the world. And yet the message of this parable isn't just the discernment, that will come at a later stage, but it's the acceptance. It's accepting that the weeds will grow side by side with the wheat. And we can't just pull out the weeds straight away. And that's what the owner says to his servants. Don't pull out the weeds, because while you're pulling the weeds, you might also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And it will come to light. That good seed it will be clear that that good seed is giving its fruit. But our part, at least for now, is that acceptance. And that acceptance gives us a deep peace. It's the acceptance of not pretending to be the judge, but allowing God to be the judge. Allowing God to judge me, judge others, and judge the world. And for my part, do my good work of sowing the good seed so that we can reap good fruit.